So my name's Councillor Sohail, and I'm a city councillor elected in Tettenhall Regis ward in Wolverhampton. A friend of mine was a councillor at the time, was somebody I knew, and I was in between jobs at the time, and he wanted some help with campaigning. So I'd sort of got dragged along to help with campaigning. I've always not been. I've had an interest in politics, but I've always, I've always voted, and I've always kept a keen eye for the results and stuff. But I've never ever actually been actively involved. So I helped him with campaigning, and at that time when he was standing for the locals, there were general elections as well. So there was a MP at the time. His name was Paul Uppel. So I'd sort of just got involved within the campaign, and I sort of got a feel for it. So we sort of snowballed from there, really. So councillors, one of the responsibilities is the running of the city and the decision making of everybody. So that's understanding what. Secondly, where you're elected in whatever ward it is, your residents, so they might have issues. So you have to be available for them. So whether it's they've got bin collection, overgrown trees, hedges, schooling issue with their children, potholes, fly tipping, whatever it is, you have to be, you have to be available to them. So they'll contact you with whatever, whatever issues they have. Being an elected councillor is a 365-day-a-year job. I don't think you can have a day off because you're elected. You're not an employee. You're an elected representative. So you should be available to your residents. One of the core responsibilities of a councillor is corporate governance. So be prepared for the responsibility. Be prepared for the work, and as long as you can you understand the role and what it involves and what needs to be done, then you'll be absolutely fine. But you have to, it's something that you need to, I believe you have to be passionate about. You can't become a councillor because it's a job. It's not a job. It's more of a lifestyle than a job. Good people skills, communication, and I think a bit of empathy. You need that as well. So a lot of residents that will come to you, they have a lot of complex needs, and often when they've come to you, sometimes they've exhausted a lot of different channels. So I've had cases when people have come to me, and to be fair with you, I've known from the offset that I can't really do anything to help them. It's out of my remit. But you've got to be able to listen, understand, be sympathetic, and even if you can't help them, at least be able to give them advice and point them in the right direction. So people skills 100% have to come into it. I think you need to be strong-willed as well, because often there's tough decisions that need to be made. So you got to have a bit of conviction about you, and be able to make them. So I think all round, if you're people skills, good communication skill, empathy, and a bit of steel as well, you definitely need that. So I would advise them to maybe get in contact with their local councillor, regardless of what their sort of political allegiances are. Shadow somebody, see what it involves, and see if that's what if you want to make a difference to people, you want to make a difference to people's lives, then it's 100% something you should be involved in. There is a political side to it as well, but more than the political side, it's the humanity side as well. That's the most important part of being a councillor, and often people forget that. That's what it's about. But there's a lot of different elements in it. But if you're interested, do not be put off. It's great. It's a responsible job. It's a great job. You're making a difference to people's lives within your ward, within the city, and what could be better?